Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to 365 Analytics. And today it is July 4th, 4th of July. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday. But tonight we are going to be doing my final defensive position ranking in the NFL ranking series for 2025. So, yeah, today is going to be defensive end and outside linebacker combined into one ranking. We're going to be doing our top 20 today. So, yeah, without further ado, we'll get right into it. If you guys do enjoy, please like, subscribe. That will be greatly appreciated. And let's get right into the rankings, starting with number 20. Starting off with number 20, just sneaking in the top 20 here. It is Denver Broncos pass rusher Nick Benito. He was absolutely stellar in 2024. Many consider this his breakout season, and he was the staple of that Denver Broncos defensive line, along with guys like Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, and others. He comes in at number 20. Coming in at the number 19 spot on the list is Rashawn Gary of the Green Bay Packers, a guy who broke out a little late in the NFL. Probably his breakout year was around 2021 or so. That 2021 season, 2022, that area for Rashawn Gary was very, very elite. He was probably considered a top 10, top 15 pass rusher in the NFL at that time. Since then, he hasn't really piggybacked on those years great. He's been still a good player, but he hasn't really been that top 15, top 10 player that he was during those years. Still a very good pass rusher, though, nonetheless. Number 19 for John Gary. Coming in at the number 18 spot on the list, it is Chicago Bears defensive end Montez Sweat. Came over from the Washington Commanders during the 2023 trade deadline, and the rest of the 2023 season, he put on a show, got a fresh extension from the Chicago Bears, became their signature pass rusher. In 2024, he did not play as well. Still a very good player nonetheless. He cracked the top 20. Number 18, Montez Sweat. Coming in at the number 17 spot on the list, Steelers' number 2 pass rusher, Alex Highsmith. Still, even though he's the number 2 in Pittsburgh, everybody knows TJ Watt's number 1. The number 2 guy in Pittsburgh could still be a number 1 on a lot of other teams, Alex Highsmith. The only issue with him is he's had some injury issues in the past. I think he missed 5 or 6 games this year. But when he's on the field, he is dirty. He can play pass rusher, and he is one of the more consistent players in the league. He comes in at number 17. Coming in at the number 16 spot on the list is a guy in his 30s. Khalil Mack of the Los Angeles Chargers on Jim Harbaugh's defense last year. Still a force at the defensive end position. Obviously, everybody knows the years he had in Oakland, the years he had in Chicago. Was a defensive player of the year at one point in Oakland. Had great, great years in his career. Obviously out of his prime, but is still a force to be reckoned with, to say the least, and can still play some good football even in his 30s. Number 16, Khalil Mack. Coming in at number 15 in the top 15, couldn't find any highlight tapes of him on YouTube. It is Buffalo Bills defensive end Greg Rousseau, as you can see right there. He's been a good player. Former Miami product. I came into Buffalo, springing into a pretty good pass rusher in this league. Just cracks the top 15, number 15, Greg Rousseau. Coming in, the number 14 position on the list, it is New York Giants defensive end Brian Burns, wearing the number 0 with the Giants. Former Carolina Panther, as you can see, playing his old team in this clip. This was an overseas game. I believe it was the Germany game. But he is now going to be teaming up with Abdul Carter on that Giants defensive front. And man, I cannot wait to watch a defensive front. They're going to wreak some havoc. He had some great years in Carolina, since obviously been traded to the Giants, and still comes in at the top 15 at number 14, Brian Burns. Number 13, number 13. It is one of the more underrated players in the NFL. A guy that can pass rush. He's a hybrid. He can pass rush. He can draw back at times. He's primarily a pass rusher in my eyes. As you can see right there, drops back and picks off Aaron Rodgers. This guy is a sack machine, former Miami Dolphin, has been an underrated player in the NFL for a long time. It is Andrew Van Ginkel. 2024 free agent signing of the Minnesota Vikings, played very, very well in his first year in Minnesota. At number 13, Andrew Van Ginkel. At number 12, We have Jacksonville Jaguars pass rusher defensive end Joshua Hines Allen, formerly just Josh Allen, changed his name before this past season. He is now Josh Hines Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's had years where he's put up crazy sack numbers. He's also had years where he's been a little bit down. 2024 was not absolutely elite. 2023 was great. 2023 was amazing. 2024 is not as good, but he still cracks the top 12 on this list at number 12, Josh Hines Allen. Coming in just outside the top 10 at the number 11 position, former Houston Texan, 2024 Minnesota Vikings free agent signing Jonathan Grenard. He is underrated, former Florida Gator product, has been great in the NFL, had some good years with Houston, moved on from Houston, went to Minnesota, and probably, I'd say definitely actually had a career year. He comes in at number 11. And starting the top 10 off with a bang. Houston Texans back to back right here at 10 and 9. It is Will Anderson Jr. at number 10, the second year guy or going into third year guy. Won Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2023 and just has backed up on it, got even better in 2024. Absolute. I was debating what order to put these two Houston Texans in, but I decided to put Anderson at 10, and at number 9 we have Neil Hunter. I couldn't find any Texans highlight tapes of him, so we got some Vikings highlights from his time in Minnesota. But he's been a force ever since. Now I think he's 30 or 31 now. Was a Houston Texans big money free agent signing. I believe he signed a 2-year deal, so this would be a contract year for him coming up now. Double-digit sacks for the Texans, multiple double-digit sack years with the Minnesota Vikings. I honestly could have put him higher. You can argue that he should be higher on this list, but I opted for him at number 9, right with Will Anderson Jr. At number 9, Danielle Hunter. Coming in at the number 8 position is Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sean McVay got another one, all right. Another beast of a defensive young player. It is Jared Verse of the Los Angeles Rams. As I said, Defensive Rookie of the Year this past season, and I believe he's a future Defensive Player of the Year. I'm not going to back down from it. I was not a big believer in him out of Florida State in the draft season, but he shut me up, man. He was clearly the best defensive player or defensive rookie this past season. And I can't wait to see what he does in the future. I think he's a future Defensive Player of the Year at number 8, Jared Verse. Number 7, it is a guy who, a little bit of a spoiler here before my award predictions come out in August. I think he's going to be the Comeback Player of the Year this year. I'm putting my claim in now. Obviously suffered a devastating season-ending injury last season against the Dallas Cowboys. It was a gruesome one. Forced him to miss the rest of the season when he was on crazy trajectory. He was the leader in the NFL in sacks at that point. Ended up going out for the season. Praying to him, I believe he's the Comeback Player of the Year this year at number 6, Aiden Hutchinson. Don't know why I said number 6 for Aiden Hutchinson. This is your real number 6 right here, Max Crosby. And this one might get some people mad. I do have the Bengals' number 1 pass rusher above Max Crosby. That's going to ruffle some feathers right there. We'll talk about it more in a second, but Max Crosby, number 6, suffered an injury last year, didn't play many games, but everybody knows the force that Max Crosby is. He's clearly the best player on the Raiders team. When he's on the field, that Raiders defensive line is a really good unit. As you can see, Christian Wilkins making the play there along with Max Crosby. Max Crosby comes in at number 6. And here we go. Number 5, I have Trey Hendrickson, the first Bengals player on this list. Obviously, the only Bengals defender that would be on this list, or not on the list, on the defensive rankings we've had through this entire week. The first Bengals player I've talked about yet. Trey Hendrickson, I believe he's top 5. Obviously, everybody knows the contract dispute he is in right now with the Bengals. Will he hold out? Will he get traded? Blah, blah, blah. I have no comment on that right now. All I know is he's the fifth best pass rusher in the league at this point. 17.5 sacks this past season, led the NFL, and I believe he is number 5 on the list. Number 4, we have a former Defensive Player of the Year, and we got some highlights of his Defensive Player of the Year season right here. It is 49ers defensive end Nick Bosa. As I said, former Defensive Player of the Year, one of the best defensive ends in the NFL for a few years now, and I don't really have much else to say. He's been a pinnacle, and he's been a unit with that 49ers defense for a couple years now. At number 4, Nick Bosa. All right. I'm finally gonna take my L. TJ Watt is the number 3 player on this list, entering the top three. Okay, listen. For a few years now, probably 2 or 3 years now, the big debate in the NFL has been who's better, TJ Watt or Miles Garrett? I have always argued tooth and nail that TJ Watt is the better pass rusher and defensive end than Miles Garrett. I'm finally eating my L this year, and I am biting the bullet, and I believe that TJ Watt comes in at number 3, and Miles Garrett is ahead of him in the defensive end rankings. Coming in at number 2, former Penn State product, one of the best defensive ends in the NFL, a slam dunk draft pick by Jerry Jones, and the best player on the Dallas Cowboys. It is Micah Parsons. Everybody knows this guy. He's a beast. He has a podcast. He's nationally known. He's that guy. He's that guy. There's not much else to say. He comes in at number 2 on the list. And at number 1, you all know who it is. Cleveland Brown, Miles Garrett. This guy has terrorized my Cincinnati Bengals for years now, and he just got a big new extension, highest paid defensive end in the NFL. Likely either TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson, or both will surpass that eventually when they get their new extensions. Most likely TJ Watt definitely will. Who knows if Hendrickson gets in that range, but yep, I'm finally calling him the best defensive end in the NFL after arguing for TJ Watt for years now. This guy is just a game breaker, the best player on the Cleveland Browns, the face of the Cleveland Browns franchise right now. Requested a trade earlier in the offseason, and Browns and Garrett eventually struck a deal, and he is their franchise pass rusher for years to come. At number 1, it is Miles Garrett to top off the list. And here is the full list. I've did out my top 25 here, displayed the top 20 in this video, as you can see, with Miles Garrett through Nick Bonito here with the top 20. But 21 through 25 is Jalen Phillips, who hasn't played much in the past few years. Had to sneak him in the top 25 here of the Miami Dolphins. When he was on the field, he's been great. Josh Sweat, new Arizona Cardinals free agent signing. Carl Granderson, pretty underrated player of the New Orleans Saints. Yaya Diaby, young player, only improving with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And going into the second year now, rookie last year, Chop Robinson of the Miami Dolphins sneaks in that top 25 with some honorable mentions being Cam Jordan, Nick Herbig, Nolan Smith, Kyle Van Noy, and Bradley Chuck. Also didn't play last year, so I put him on the honorable mention list. But yeah, that's week one. That's week one. That's a wrap for the defensive rankings. We'll do a little bit of a recap on them real quick here. As you can see at the bottom here, we have quarterback, wide receiver, or running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line. On Monday, we'll be starting with offensive line, tight end Tuesday, wide receiver Wednesday, running back Thursday, and quarterback next Friday, a week from today. And the 2025 NFL Top 100, that will be a big, big video. I believe we're probably going to have that out maybe not next Wednesday, the Wednesday after, because it takes a few days to put together that top 100, have to make a thumbnail and all that. But yeah, to recap the defense a little bit, obviously we had interior defensive line here with our top 15. That's your interior defensive line rankings right there. I like Kobe Turner and Keanu Benton snuck on that list there. Vita Vea, Chris Jones still considered the best to me. The linebacker rankings we did yesterday, or I'm recording this on Thursday, but we did this. The linebacker rankings were on Wednesday. Fred Warner and Roquan Smith top out the list. Zach Bond on there. Levante David. Two Commanders linebackers, tackling machines with Foye Oluokun and Zaire Franklin in the honorable mentions. At safety, we did our top 10. Jesse Bates tops out that list. Buda Baker, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, Hufanga, and Julian Love get the honorable mentions. And cornerback, which we did on Monday. Pat Surtain, the defensive player of the year, tops that off. Sauce Gardner in there. A bunch of honorable mentions here. Christian Gonzalez at the bottom of that list there. And head coach, which I didn't do. I'm thinking of making a YouTube video on that, maybe on the side later in the summer or something like that. But I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to make a YouTube video on that yet. But yeah, that's going to do it. If you guys did enjoy, please like, subscribe. That'll all be greatly appreciated. Hope you guys enjoyed your 4th of July. I will be enjoying it tomorrow. This is recorded on Thursday night around 6:30. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. We'll have offensive line on Monday. So stay tuned for that. Later.